Nara's first days on Earth were full of new sights and sounds. Everything was different from her home planet, Zorlan. The sky was bright blue, and the air was lighter. The trees were tall and green, and strange animals walked nearby. Nara had never seen anything like this before. Sometimes she felt scared and unsure. But Tom was always there, guiding her with kindness and patience. Each morning, Tom woke early. He prepared a simple breakfast of fruits and grains. Nara tried everything carefully. The food tasted fresh and sweet. It was not like the heavy meals on Zorlan, but it gave her energy. After breakfast, they went outside to the training area. The sunlight warmed Nara's skin, and she could hear birds singing. Tom smiled and said, "Today, we start with simple exercises. Small steps build strong bodies." Nara nodded. She was still weak, but she wanted to be strong. She watched Tom carefully as he showed her how to stretch and move. At first, her muscles ached, and her breath came fast. But Tom told her to be patient. Strength grows slowly, he said. It comes from effort, not speed. Days passed, and Nara's body began to change. She could run a little farther and lift small weights. Her legs no longer shook with every step. Tom cheered her progress. "Good job, Nara. You are growing stronger." One afternoon, Nara saw a group of children playing near the forest. They ran and laughed freely. Nara wished she could join them, but she felt shy. She thought about how different she was from them. Tom noticed her sadness. "It is okay to feel different," he said softly. "But remember, your strength is special. It comes from inside." Nara listened. She wanted to believe Tom's words. She looked at the children and took a deep breath. "Maybe one day I can play like them," she said quietly. That evening, Tom taught Nara about Earth's world. He showed her pictures of mountains, oceans, and cities. "Earth is big and full of life," he explained. "People here have faced many challenges, but they never give up." Nara was amazed. She saw how humans use their minds and hearts to solve problems. She felt inspired. "I want to be like them," she said. Tom smiled. "You already have their spirit. We will work together, and you will grow strong in your own way." The next morning, Nara and Tom walked into the nearby town. Nara's eyes were wide with wonder. The streets were busy with people of all kinds. Some smiled kindly at her, while others were curious. Nara felt nervous, but stayed close to Tom. She watched as humans talked, worked, and helped each other. She saw children learning in schools and adults sharing food. A young girl with bright eyes came near Nara. "Hello, I'm Mia," she said. "Do you want to play?" Nara hesitated. She had never played like this before, but Mia's smile was warm and true. "Okay," Nara said softly. Mia took Nara's hand and led her to a game called tag. Nara tried to run and catch Mia, but she was slower still. She laughed for the first time in many days. The feeling was new and wonderful. After the game, Mia said, "You are strong. You just need time." Nara smiled back. "Thank you, Mia." Tom watched quietly. He knew these moments were as important as training. Nara was learning not only to be strong, but also to trust others. Days turned into weeks. Nara's training grew harder. Tom taught her how to defend herself with small weapons made from earth materials. He showed her how to think quickly and stay calm in danger. One day, Tom said, "We will practice together. I will be your opponent." Nara's heart beat fast. She was nervous but excited. They moved slowly at first. Tom showed her how to block and strike. Nara copied his movements, trying to be precise. After many tries, Nara landed her first hit. Tom smiled and nodded. "Very good." Nara felt proud. She had never thought she could fight. But the training was not easy. Some days, Nara wanted to give up. Her body ached, and her spirit felt tired. Tom would sit with her and say, "Every warrior faces hard days. The important thing is to keep going." Nara thought about her father's words and the promise she made. She closed her eyes and whispered, "I will be strong." One evening, as the sun set behind the trees, Nara and Tom sat by a small fire. Nara looked at Tom and said, "Thank you for helping me. I feel stronger. But I still have much to learn." Tom smiled, "And I will be here to help every step of the way." Suddenly, the sky darkened. A strange sound came from the forest. Both looked up, alert and ready. A small ship landed nearby. A figure stepped out, wearing armor like Nara's people, but dark and sharp. The figure's voice was cold. "I'm here for the princess." Nara's heart raced. She looked at Tom, who stood in front of her protectively. "Stay behind me," Tom said firmly. The visitor walked closer. "The rival kingdoms know you are here. They will come soon." Nara felt fear, but also a new feeling, determination. She took a deep breath and said, "I'm ready to fight." Tom smiled, proud. "Then we fight together." The dark figure stood tall, his armor shining under the fading sunlight. His eyes were sharp, and his voice was cold as he said, "I'm Drek, a scout from the rival kingdom of Varnik. I have come to take the princess back." Nara felt her heart pounding fast. She had never faced a real enemy before, but Tom stood strong in front of her. "You will not take her," Tom said firmly. Drek sneered, "You humans are weak. You cannot protect her." Tom smiled, "Not afraid. Maybe, but together we are strong." Nara looked at Tom and felt a small spark of courage inside her. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. "I'm Nara, daughter of the alien king. I may be weak now, but I will protect my people." Drek laughed loudly. "We will see." Suddenly, Drek raised his hand, and a small device in his armor sent a loud signal into the sky. Moments later, dark ships appeared above the trees, their engines roaring like thunder. Tom grabbed Nara's hand. "We must hide and prepare. They will come for her soon." Nara nodded, fear and excitement mixing inside her. She had to be brave. Tom led Nara to a hidden cave nearby. Inside, he showed her how to use small devices that could help them. Some made loud noises to scare enemies, others sent bright lights to blind them. Nara learned quickly. Her mind worked fast, remembering every detail. She felt more confident with each passing moment. The enemy ships landed, and soldiers stepped out. They looked strong and ready to fight. Tom whispered, "Stay close and follow my lead." The soldiers searched the area, but Tom and Nara stayed hidden. Nara's heart beat fast, but she stayed calm. Suddenly, one soldier walked near the cave. Nara held her breath. Tom threw a small light device to the side. It flashed bright and loud. The soldier covered his eyes and called for help. Tom took the chance to pull Nara deeper into the cave. Outside, the fight began. Tom and Nara could hear the sounds of battle, shouting, running footsteps, and the clash of weapons. Nara wanted to help, but she was still weak. Tom knew this and kept her safe. After some time, the noise stopped. The soldiers were gone. Tom looked at Nara and smiled. "You did well. You stayed calm. And that is important." Nara nodded, feeling proud. "But they will come back," Tom agreed. "Yes, but we will be ready." The next days were filled with training and preparation. Tom taught Nara how to move quietly, how to listen carefully, and how to use the devices better. Nara's body grew stronger, and her mind sharper. She practiced every morning and night. One evening, Tom said, "Tomorrow, we face a test. You must use everything you have learned." Nara felt nervous, but ready. The next day, as the sun rose, Tom and Nara set out to find the enemy scout again. They moved through the forest quietly, watching for signs. Suddenly, they saw Drek standing near a river. He did not see them. Tom whispered, "Now." Nara took a deep breath and moved forward. She used the skills Tom taught her. She moved silently and quickly. She threw a small net over Drek's head. He struggled but could not break free. Tom ran forward and helped her tie Drek's hands. Drek glared at them. "You may have won this time, but the war is not over." Nara looked at him with new strength. "Neither am I." They took Drek back to Tom's home. Nara wanted to ask him many questions, but Tom said, "First, we rest, then we learn." That night, Nara dreamed of her home planet. She saw her father, the alien king, and she felt a strong desire to protect him and her people, she woke up ready to face the challenges ahead. After capturing Drek, the enemy scout, Nara and Tom knew they had little time before more dangers came. The rival kingdom of Varnik would not stop until they had the princess. They needed to be ready, stronger, and smarter than before. Tom decided it was time to build a special place for Nara's training. Away from the town and hidden by thick trees, he found a quiet spot near a small river. There, he began to build a secret training area. Nara watched as Tom worked hard to make wooden dummies for practice, ropes to climb, and targets to aim at. He even built a small shelter where they could rest and plan, "This will be our place," Tom said with a smile. "Here, you will grow stronger without fear." Nara felt a new hope rise inside her. For the first time, she had a safe place to train and learn. The next morning, Tom started teaching Nara how to use the wooden dummies for combat practice. "We will start slow," he said. "Your body must learn each movement clearly." Nara tried to hit the dummy with a wooden stick, but her arms felt weak, and she missed many times. Tom encouraged her, "Don't give up. Practice makes strong." Every day, Nara practiced hitting, blocking, and moving. Her muscles ached, but she kept going. She wanted to prove she could be a warrior. Tom also taught her to climb ropes to build strength in her arms and legs. At first, Nara could only reach halfway, but with patience and effort, she climbed higher and higher. One afternoon, Tom brought out a small bow and arrows. "You will learn to aim and shoot," he said. "Precision is as important as strength." Nara held the bow carefully. She took a deep breath and let the arrow fly. It missed the target, but she smiled. Again, Tom said. Nara kept trying, until the arrow hit the center of the target. "I did it," she said happily. Tom nodded proudly. "You are learning fast." Beyond physical training, Tom knew Nara needed to build her mind too. He gave her puzzles and riddles to solve, teaching her patience and careful thought. Nara found the puzzles hard, but she enjoyed the challenge. She felt her mind becoming sharper. One evening, as they rested by the river, Nara said, "Tom, I am afraid of the enemies. What if I am not strong enough to stop them?" Tom looked at her kindly. "Fear is natural. Even the strongest feel fear. But courage is moving forward despite fear. You have that courage, Nara." Nara smiled. She wanted to believe him. Days turned into weeks. Nara's body changed. Her arms and legs grew stronger. Her movements became quicker and smoother. She could run longer, jump higher, and fight better. Her spirit grew too. She felt braver and more confident. One morning, Tom said, "Today, we practice together. I will be your opponent." Nara's heart beat fast. This was the first time she would fight someone who fought back. They moved to the open field. Tom showed her how to watch his movements and react. At first, Tom moved slowly, letting Nara practice blocks and strikes. She missed many times, but Tom never stopped encouraging her. Then, Tom moved faster and tried to touch her. Nara dodged and blocked, her body moving with new strength. After many tries, Nara landed a hit on Tom's arm. He smiled and said, "Excellent." Nara laughed. She felt proud and happy. After training, Tom shared stories about the great warriors of Earth. He told her how humans faced hard times but never gave up. Their strength was not only in their bodies but in their hearts. Nara listened, feeling inspired. One day, while training near the river, Nara noticed something. Her skin was not as fragile as before. The small cuts and bruises healed quickly. She realized her body was changing. "I feel stronger," she said to Tom. Tom smiled. "Your body is growing with the training. Soon, you will be ready for the real fight." But the peace was short. One night, Tom heard noises near the training area. He woke Nara quickly. "Enemies are close," he whispered. They hid quietly as dark figures moved through the trees. The rival kingdom's soldiers were searching for them. Tom and Nara stayed still, using the skills they had learned to remain hidden. The soldiers passed by without seeing them. After the danger passed, Tom said, "This is why we train, so we can survive and protect." Nara nodded, feeling more determined than ever. As days passed, Nara's training continued. She learned to fight, to think, and to be brave. She was no longer just a fragile princess. She was becoming a warrior. The days in the secret training camp passed with hard work and hope. Nara grew stronger with every sunrise, her body tougher and her mind sharper. But the shadows of danger were never far. The rival kingdom of Varnik was relentless, searching for the princess with growing anger. One morning, as Nara stretched beside the river, Tom appeared with a serious look. "We have a problem," he said quietly. Nara turned to him, concern growing in her eyes. "What is it?" Tom lowered his voice. "Someone from your father's kingdom has betrayed us. They told the enemy where you are hiding." Nara's heart sank. She had trusted her people, but now she felt alone. "How do we know this?" she asked. Tom held up a small device that had picked up enemy signals. "The rival kingdom's forces are moving fast. They know the secret camp location." Nara's hands trembled. "We must leave at once." Tom nodded. "Yes, but we can't just run. We have to be smart and careful." They packed their things quickly and prepared to leave the camp. Nara looked around the place that had become her home, her heart heavy but determined. As they moved through the forest, the sounds of enemy soldiers grew louder behind them. Tom led the way, using secret paths he knew well. Suddenly, a group of enemy soldiers appeared ahead. Blocking their path, Tom stopped and whispered, "We must fight." Nara felt her body tense. Ready but nervous, this was the first real battle she would face outside of training. The soldiers charged, weapons raised. Tom moved quickly, using his skill to dodge and strike. Nara followed, blocking and hitting as she had learned. The fight was hard and fast. Nara's heart pounded. But she stayed focused. She remembered Tom's lessons. Stay calm, think clearly, and never give up. One soldier swung a heavy club at Nara. She ducked just in time and used her strength to push him away. The soldier stumbled, surprised by her power. Tom smiled. "Well done, together." They fought their way through the soldiers, using teamwork and skill. When the battle ended, they were tired but alive. Tom looked at Nara with pride. "You are ready for more." But the danger was not over. As they moved deeper into the forest, Nara stopped suddenly. She heard a soft voice calling her name. "Nara, come back." It was a familiar voice, soft but filled with sadness. Nara turned and saw a figure stepping out from behind the trees. It was Lyra, a trusted servant of the alien king and someone Nara had known since she was a child. "Nara, why do you run?" Lyra asked. "Your father wants you to come home. The enemy will not harm you if you obey." Nara's heart ached. Could she trust Lyra? Was she truly a friend? Tom stepped forward, his hand gently on Nara's shoulder. "Be careful. We don't know her true intentions." Lyra looked at Tom and smiled sadly. "I only want what is best for the princess and the kingdom." Nara hesitated. Her thoughts raced. Suddenly, behind Lyra, more enemy soldiers appeared. It was a trap. Lyra's eyes turned cold. "You should have trusted me," she said. Tom pulled Nara back just in time as the soldiers charged. The fight began again, more dangerous this time. Tom and Nara worked together, fighting with all their strength. Nara's body moved faster than before. She blocked attacks and struck with power. Tom used quick moves to protect Nara from harm. Despite the danger, they did not give up. After a fierce battle, the enemy soldiers retreated. Lyra disappeared into the forest, leaving Nara and Tom alone. Nara sank to the ground, exhausted but alive. She looked at Tom with tears in her eyes. "I was betrayed by someone I trusted," she said softly. Tom helped her up. "Betrayal hurts, but it makes us stronger. We will keep moving forward." Nara wiped her tears and nodded. "I will not let fear stop me." They continued their journey, more careful than before. Nara's heart was heavy, but her spirit burned brighter. She knew the road ahead would be hard, but she was ready. Together, with Tom by her side, she would face whatever came next. After the betrayal and the narrow escape, Nara knew her journey was changing. She was no longer the fragile princess who once feared her own shadow. Now, she was a warrior in training, strong, smart, and full of hope. Tom and Nara found a new place to rest, far from the dangers of the past. This new camp was hidden deep in a quiet valley, surrounded by tall trees and soft, green grass. The air was fresh, and the sun warmed their faces. Here, they could train without fear. Nara woke early every morning, ready to push herself harder than before. Her body had grown stronger, but she wanted more: speed, skill, and courage. She knew the day would come when she must fight to save her people. Tom guided her carefully, teaching new ways to move and fight. Strength is important, he said, but skill and mind are just as powerful. They practiced together, sometimes sparring gently, sometimes running through the forest to build speed. One day, Tom brought a new weapon for Nara to learn, a sword made from a shining metal, light but strong. Nara held it carefully, feeling its weight in her hand. This sword will be your friend and protector, Tom said. You must learn to trust it as you trust yourself. Nara nodded, her eyes bright. She practiced moving the sword, cutting through the air with focus and grace. At first, her arms tired quickly, but she kept going. After many tries, she could swing the sword smoothly. Her confidence grew. But Nara's training was not only about fighting. Tom taught her how to think like a leader, how to plan, how to listen, and how to be brave even when afraid. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Tom asked Nara, "What do you fight for?" Nara thought carefully. "I fight for my father, for my people, and for the chance to protect those who cannot protect themselves." Tom smiled. That is the heart of a true warrior. Days turned into weeks. Nara's body moved with new strength and speed. She climbed trees, ran through the forest, and practiced with her sword until her arms ached. Her mind grew sharper and her heart steadier. One afternoon, while practicing near a stream, Nara spotted something unusual, a small, glowing device half buried in the mud. She picked it up and showed it to Tom. Tom examined it closely. "This is advanced technology from your home kingdom," he said. "It may hold important information." Nara's eyes widened. "We must find out what it says." Tom nodded. Together, they worked to unlock the device. Inside, they found messages from the alien king and secret plans for the kingdom's defense. Nara read carefully. The enemy was planning a large attack soon. The time was coming for her to return home. That night, Nara sat by the fire, her thoughts heavy but her spirit ready. "I have trained, learned, and grown," she said softly. "Now, I must lead and protect." Tom placed a hand on her shoulder. "You are ready, Nara. You have become a true warrior." The next morning, they prepared for their journey back to Zorlin. Nara packed her sword and the device with the secret plans. She looked at Tom, grateful for all he had done. Together, they climbed aboard a small ship Tom had found. The engines hummed softly as they left Earth's sky and began their journey home. As the stars passed by the windows, Nara felt a new power within her. She was no longer a fragile princess. She was a rising warrior, ready to face her destiny. The stars outside the ship's window shone like tiny fires. As Nara and Tom traveled back to her home planet, Zorlin, Nara held her sword tightly, feeling its weight and the power inside it. She was no longer the fragile princess who left Earth many months ago. She had become a strong warrior, ready to face the dangers waiting for her. Tom looked at Nara and smiled. "Are you ready?" Nara nodded, her eyes shining with courage. "Yes, it is time to protect my people." When the ship landed on Zorlin, the sky was dark with smoke. The rival kingdom of Varnik had begun their attack. The once proud and peaceful land was now full of chaos and fear. Nara stepped onto the ground and felt the heavy air. She saw her people fighting bravely against the enemy soldiers. Many were hurt, and the battle was fierce. Her father, the alien king, stood tall in the center, directing his warriors with strong commands. When he saw Nara, his eyes filled with hope and pride. "Nara," he said, "you have returned." "I am here to help, father," Nara replied firmly. The king smiled. "We need your strength now." Nara joined the warriors. She felt the weight of her sword and the power she had gained. She moved quickly, Using every skill she learned on Earth. The battle was hard. The enemy was strong and well prepared. But Nara fought with courage and wisdom. She led the warriors, showing them new ways to defend and attack. Her presence gave hope to the people. They followed her with trust and courage. During the fight, Nara remembered the secret plans from the device she found on Earth. She shared them with her father and the commanders. Using these plans, they set traps and prepared defenses that surprised the enemy. The tide of the battle began to turn. The enemy soldiers were pushed back, their forces weakening. In the final moments, Nara faced the enemy leader in single combat. He was tall and fierce, but Nara did not fear him. They fought with skill and strength. The leader's moves were fast, but Nara's training made her quicker. With one final strike, she disarmed him. The enemy leader fell to his knees, defeated. Nara looked around at the battlefield. The enemy forces began to retreat, and her people cheered. Her father came to her side and said, "You have done well, my daughter. You are the warrior I hoped you would become." Nara smiled, feeling proud and humble. "I could not have done it without Tom's help." Tom stepped forward, and the king nodded to him with respect. "You have saved our kingdom." Peace returned to Zorlin. The people rebuilt their homes and healed their wounds. Nara worked with her father to lead the kingdom into a new era of strength and hope. She never forgot her time on Earth and the lessons she learned from Tom and the humans. She promised to protect not only her own people, but also to build friendships with other worlds. Nara stood under the bright stars of her home planet, feeling the wind on her face. She was no longer the fragile princess. She was a powerful warrior, a leader, and a protector. Her journey had been hard, but it had made her strong. And now, her story was just beginning. In a faraway star system, many light years from Earth, the sky was filled with colors no human had ever seen. Strange stars shone brightly, and planets spun slowly in silent space. On one of these planets lived a kingdom called Velora. It was a place full of tall trees, glowing flowers, and shining towers that reached the clouds. Princess Mira of Velora stood on the balcony of her palace. Her long silver hair moved gently in the cool wind. She looked out over the city, where people moved quickly, preparing for something big. The kingdom had been peaceful for many years, but now dark clouds of war were rising. A rival group called the Dralax threatened to attack Velora. The people were worried. Mira's heart was heavy. She wanted to protect her home and her people. She knew she could not do it alone. The leaders of Velora had made a decision to ask for help from other worlds. The closest friendly planet was Earth, a blue world filled with humans. It was the first time Velora had ever reached out to a species so different from their own. A small ship appeared in the sky above Velora's palace. It moved fast and smooth, shining under the bright stars. Inside, a young human man sat quietly. His name was Leo. He was tall and strong, with brown hair and kind eyes. Leo had trained for many years to be a guard and a protector. He had never been to another planet before. Now, his mission was clear: to protect Princess Mira. When the ship landed softly in the palace courtyard, many Veloran guards came forward. They looked at Leo with curiosity and doubt. Humans were known to be brave, but also unpredictable. They wondered if this strange visitor could really help them. Mira stepped forward. Her voice was calm, but full of warmth as she spoke to Leo. "Welcome to Velora, Leo. We are honored to have you here." She smiled gently. "I chose you long before they sent you. I believe you will be a great help to us." Leo bowed respectfully. "Thank you, Princess Mira. I'm ready to serve you and your people." The palace was unlike anything Leo had seen. The walls glowed softly, and the floors were made of shining crystal. The air smelled sweet, like flowers he had never known. People moved with grace and kindness. Leo felt both amazed and nervous. Mira showed Leo round the palace. She introduced him to her advisors and the Veloran guards. Some of them looked at Leo with hope, others with doubt. But Mira knew that Leo's courage and heart were stronger than any weapon. That evening, Mira and Leo sat together in a quiet garden. The stars above sparkled, and the air was cool. Mira spoke about the history of Valora. She told Leo stories of great leaders, of peace and bravery, and of the power that lived in their land. Leo listened closely. He told her about Earth too, about the people, their struggles, and their dreams. They shared stories late into the night. For the first time, Leo felt a real connection to this strange new world. The next day, Leo trained with the Valoran guards. Their fighting styles were different, but Leo was quick to learn. He used his human strength and tactics, and slowly, the guards began to respect him. He was not just a visitor. He was becoming part of their defense. Mira watched quietly. She had seen many warriors come and go, but something about Leo was different. He had a fire inside him, a hope and bravery that Valora needed now more than ever. That night, Mira came to Leo's room. She looked him in the eyes and said softly, "I chose you long before Earth sent you here. I saw something in you that others do not see. You are more than just a guard. You are a friend and a protector." Leo smiled, feeling proud but also humble. "I will not let you down, Princess. I promise to protect you and your kingdom with all my strength." As the stars shone above, a quiet hope grew between them. The war was coming, but together they would face whatever challenges waited.